My voice is a little weird today. I apologize. Hi everyone, my name is Kayla and welcome back to Kay's Hidden Shelf where we talk about books. Today I'm going to share with you my spoiler-free review for The Blood of Outcasts by D.A. Smith, a Japanese-inspired self-published fantasy and a bloody start to a new series by an author to watch. Let's talk about this. Let's start with the story's overview. Masako escapes death and is hell-bent on revenge against the Lord Council who killed her master and left her clan in pieces. A curse in her blood cries out, and a godsborn answers. Given a second chance, Masako must unite the outer clans, move past old rivalries and worse, face annihilation at the hands of a foreign sect of sorcerers and their silent invasion. Only Masako is meant to be dead. If you're looking for a bloody story filled with great action scenes, political scheming, grimdark elements, and unlikable character all set in a Japanese-inspired world, you've come to the right place. The Blood of Outcasts is told in first-person present-tense narrative through the eyes of an unlikable character, Masako. As a result, this was a bit tricky for me to settle into. It took about 40% before I finally felt comfortable with the writing and the storytelling and the character that we meet. Once I passed that 40% mark, I fully settled in and I started enjoying the character and the story more. Eventually, I associated the writing style with Masako's personality. She's a hot-tempered warrior of few words who would rather rely on her sword to do the talking. Valuing honor, loyalty, and justice above all else, she strives for revenge and restoring her clan. I also appreciated that despite Masako being a unlikable character, she does get growth throughout the book and character development, and I really appreciated this because she's not just a staple, angry, single-minded character. She does get growth throughout this despite being unlikable in many, many ways. So much so that I would love to do a spoiler discussion of her character because I feel like there's a lot more depth to this than you see on the surface. For that reason, I'm also excited to continue with Wrath of the Mountains to see if she does get more growth throughout the series. Since unlikable characters can be tricky for readers, this might not be for everyone. However, I thoroughly enjoyed Masako's character, and I do see a lot of promise not just with her character growth and development, but also with the author's writing. With a wide side cast of characters and many clan names to remember, there's a lot of people to keep track in this. Personally, I use the glossary at the beginning of the book that helps you navigate the character names and the clans that they belong to, along with their statuses throughout the story. I also enjoyed many of the characters that we see here. There's a wide variety of different characters, and I just enjoyed the different roles that they all played. Something else that I really appreciated with this is that because it's only through Masako's perspective, it was harder to anticipate what would happen with the plot. And I love the mystery that it added to the story for this reason. We don't get any other points of views, we don't get any other tenses aside from a few flashbacks into Masako's history, and again, that's just in her perspective. So it made it just a little bit more thrilling to read as there was more mystery involved with the plotline. Now, I will say the world building felt familiar to a lot of manga or anime series that I had read in past, and the author does say that they took inspiration from Rurouni Kenshin. I'm terrible at pronouncing that, so I apologize. But you can definitely see the influences of it here in The Blood of Outcasts. The only thing I would have liked to see a bit more exploration, or rather explanation of within the story, is the magic along with the meters. These are things that are kind of explained in the story. Through Masako's perspective, she knows what they are already. She has an understanding of them and abhors one of them. But to the reader, it was a little tricky for me to have a full grasp of how it worked and know that's not necessary for me to enjoy the story. It's just something I would have liked to have known more of because I was really intrigued with it and I'd love to be able to have a better understanding of it. This was a great revenge tale with demons, dragons, a caste system, samurai, political scheming, all with a bit of magic. While this did take me longer to get into, I really enjoyed Masako's character and the story that we get here. I'm eager to continue with Wrath from the Mountains because I want to see more of Masako's character, how she continues to grow or develop, or maybe not. She is an unlikable and brutal character, and I don't know what that says about me, but I really enjoyed her character. Overall, I gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars. Ultimately, I think this is just going to be one of those books that you need to pick up and try for yourself to see if it's for you. It might be a bit of a divisive book where people might love it or not like it, unfortunately, but the only way to find out is to pick it up and try for yourself. I do think this has a lot of elements that fantasy readers will enjoy, and like I said, having an unlikable character as a protagonist might be hit or miss for some people. Something else that I wanted to mention is how comfortable this book was to read. Despite its size, because it is a big book, it is very floppy and very comfortable to read. The font in this is also a decent size, so again, this just made for a very comfortable read. What about you? Does this sound interesting to you? Do you think you'll pick this up? Have you read it already? What was your experience with it? Leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. As always, thank you for watching and take care of yourselves.